A tight end like that is like having a girlfriend, right? When you have one, you're like, this is okay. This is all right,
So we've seen Trey McBride absolutely explode with a QB who's capable of throwing the ball 10 plus yards down the field. And most likely Brissett and Murray aren't going to be there next year. So is McBride, can you call him QB proof? Or is it a danger they get another check down merchant and he's back to where he was last year in the first 5 games of this year where he's good. He's still a top 5 tight end, but he's not really getting you many touchdowns. He's kind of just locked in at 60 to 70 yards a game.
Here's the thing is name me more than 3 tight ends who get 40 to 50 yards a game in general. I mean, I don't care who's out there throwing passes. It could be Phillip Rivers at this point. I really don't care. I'll take the 4 to 5 points per game, and he's a tight end one anyway. Now he's a tight end super mega one, but guys like that, you can't move. You can't move until they're in their maybe early to mid 30s and maybe you're in rebuild, but you can't move off McBride. I don't care who the quarterback is next. Can you expect Brissett 20, 25 point type numbers? Absolutely not. And I don't think any of the quarterback prospects next year are that good anyway. But no matter who's his quarterback, he'll get you 40 to 50 to 60 yards and maybe a touchdown. Because Murray was the low of the low. We've already seen the floor. It's an overused term in my opinion, but that's his floor. Is 40 to 50 yards a game, no touchdown. That's his absolute floor. That's 20 tight ends ceiling. Like, let's just say that is. Like, guys that everybody likes to overhype, like Rondé Gadsden, for example. He's a good tight end, but he's getting you 5 to 6 points, and you're happy about that, So, and that's with a good quarterback. With a bad quarterback, if you're getting that on a consistent basis, you should be more than happy about that. And the fact that he's just getting 20 to 25 points in general, and he's doing it over and over and over again. That team, whoever has McBride, should be able to make a playoff run if you're in playoffs just off of him. I mean, that's how OP the tight end position can be if you have a really good one.
Well, Bro's a wide receiver 1. And
you
can slot him in your tight end position.
He's an elite wide receiver 1 in your tight end spot. So, yeah, there's no universe where I'm thinking any bad thoughts about McBride, even when they do get a new QB next year, because I'll gladly take the 5 to 6 points on down weeks and the 10 to 15, maybe even 20 on good weeks. Gladly, anytime. Like some of the best fantasy tight ends, 5, 6, 7 point. Like, come on. He's the 101 in tight end world, and even with a significant QB downgrade, I'm not going to change that. I think he's untouchable.
Yeah, I agree. He's an untradeable tight end. I do wonder if there's a little bit of, kind of like what happened to Brock Bowers this year, where he goes and then the QB changes and it's an absolute disaster. And he's no longer just OP. I could see that as a world, but Brock Bowers is still a tight end 1. Yeah, and Brock Bowers is still a top 5 tight end with ease. If you can find a tight end
you start every single week,
yeah.
You found
if you don't have to stream tight ends, you're in great shape. And yeah, Brock Bowers is still an every week starter, so it's still not that bad of a downgrade. It's just you're not getting wide receiver 1 numbers out of him anymore like you did with Bowers last year. I wonder if it'll be the same with McBride next year, but
even it is a who cares. Yeah.
It is a who cares because you still have one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be scrounging and picking up guy after guy. You don't have to roster 2 of them because there's only 1 week you have to worry about finding a moron.
I'd like to say an elite, like top 3 fantasy tight end who gets you 10 to 15 to 20 points per week. We've seen seasons like this out of Kittle, this season out of McBride, last season out of Bowers. A tight end like that is like having a girlfriend, right? When you have one, you're like, this is okay. This is all right. I kind of found her kind of easily. Maybe I could find another one pretty easily too. So I'm just going to trade her away, because they're not that hard to find. And then it's dark days for 3 or 4 seasons because you're doing the streaming thing,
You're really hoping K-Dot gets you like 5 points.
Yeah, exactly. You find yourself in a dark situation because when you have one, you kind of take it for granted a little bit. But when you don't have one, you're like, what did I do? Yeah, you have one of those top 2, top 3 tight ends. Don't move from them ever. I mean, not ever, but like in their 20s especially, because we've seen tight ends be elite up until 35 before. In their 20s especially, if they're 32, 33, maybe it's time. Like, Kittle, for example, that's a very justifiable trade away for certain teams and certain, maybe you're 2-6 or whatever. Trade Kittle for a first round pick, please. But if they're a 26 or 27-year-old McBride, there's no question in my mind. You got to keep him.